You can find us at BWSSpodcast.com and on Facebook at BWSS Podcast. This is because we said so. Let's start the show.
All right.
And now, recording from beautiful and sexy Miami, with your hosts, Seth and Laz and Research Lucas. It's because we said so.
Sure is. What do you think about that? I got the monitors off and everything. Like I'm straight up ready to go. See, as we come and said so, we got Seth over here, mic 1. Laz back there, mic 2. Lucas in mic 3.
Hey.
And sitting in with us today, we got Alex, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist himself. So he's going to be rocking with us. He's going to be, giving his point of view. And we're going to be going through a couple topics today. We're going to go through the Nobel Winners, everybody who won this year so far. There's actually a couple more going to be given out. But we've got that going on. Governor kidnapping attempt, which is freaking unbelievable. A little militia decided they were like literally meeting underneath in a basement, like in a trap door underneath the rug and stuff. Same-sex marriage might be in jeopardy. And Smoky Napa Valley brandy. Have you guys heard anything about that at all?
No.
All right, cool.
Napa Valley man?
Brandy. Yeah, for sure. By the way, real quick, Alex, what's your favorite color?
Probably blue.
Blue? It's already blue. Everyone says blue. Like, I mean, I think freaking Camilo tried to be a dickhead and he's like gray because I couldn't make gray lights over there. So, all right. Well, you can get us at BWSSpodcast.com, our Facebook, our Twitter's at BWSS Podcast. You can get us at contact at BWSS Podcast as well. And YouTube, as soon as we get 100 subscribers, we'll get a real address. Hopefully, BWSS Podcast is available. But anyway, with that, we're going to jump into everybody's favorite segment.
It's time for Quick News.
All right, jumping to quick news. I'm going to go first. CNN, with court in flux, Thomas and Alito attack same-sex marriage ruling. So Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito on Monday issued the case of a Kentucky clerk who refused to give any gay couple's marriage license to declare that religious liberty has been under siege since the Supreme Court in 2015. So as we know, the whole situation with same-sex marriage is one of the things that the conservatives aren't a big fan of, and now they're possibly putting a conservative on. All of a sudden, this is starting to come up again. Big surprise? Yeah. No, not a surprise at all. In some respects, the objections of conservatives Thomas and Alito simply echo their dissent 5 years ago in Obergefell versus Hodge. But timing is everything, and nothing is quite the same at the Supreme Court's September 18th death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The court is on the cusp of a more potent conservative majority with possible appointee Amy Coney Barrett. So, unfortunately, it looks like I don't know if they're going to be able to overturn it because already so many people have gotten married and crap like that. But it's just the fact that it's coming up and they're talking about it is kind of ridiculous. So, all right, Lucas, you're up. Hold on. There we go.
What was that about?
Well,
Research Lucas.
that's what that's about. Anyway, go for it.
Baby or jail employees to face charges for using Baby Shark to punish inmates.
Really? I didn't see this.
Yes, three former inmates, Christian Miles and Gregory Butler, both 21, and former Oklahoma County Jail detention officers are being and Christopher Hendershot are being charged with cruelty to prisoners, corporal punishment to an inmate, and conspiracy. This has happened apparently 5 different times, at least 5 different occasions where they were not forced, but put into an attorney-client room and were either handcuffed but left in there for 2 hours to listen to Baby Shark on repeat.
Really loud, too. And that shit's annoying.
Wow, like over and over again and stuff like that.
Yes, that is one thing I'm proud of. I have never heard of Baby Shark in its entirety.
Have you heard there's a heavy metal version out there which is hilarious?
No,
Dude, it's really, really good.
that's fucking horrible.
Wow, that is horrible. Well, what was it with Noriega? They were blasting stuff in his. I can't remember what it was, but they were blasting music. Can you maybe look
Bieber.
that up? What was it?
Bieber. I think that was Bieber.
Well, no, not Noriega. Noriega was years ago, decades ago even. But I do remember Justin Bieber. All right, foodandwine.com. A Napa Valley winery is turning smoke-tainted grapes into brandy. Annual wildfires have turned smoke taint into a recurring problem. Hoops Winery hopes that it has found a creative solution. You guys familiar with Hoops Winery? Anyone? I'm sure Alex, you might be, maybe. So they put out some decent stuff. I mean, there's some, expensive wines. You're talking, 70, 80, 90, $100 just for the regular stuff. It's Cabernets, big, juicy stuff like that as well. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And when life gives you smoke-damaged grapes, make brandy. Once again, sadly, wildfires have ravaged California in 2020. For winemakers, this year's massive blazes proved particularly troublesome because they start earlier in the season than previous years. Exposing the grapes to the possibility of smoke taint where the fruit and then the wine that follows takes on an unwanted smoky characteristic. If smoke taint is severe, vineyards often have to chalk up parts of their harvest as a loss. But a forthcoming spirit from Napa Valley Hoops Vineyard may offer an alternative solution. In 2017 was one of the many wineries affected in the wine country fires. Hoops explains that the vines were incinerated and remaining grapes were covered in soot. This fruit could not be used for wine. With insurance unwilling to help, imagine that. The vineyard looked poised to take a financial hit, but where the smoky notes may not work for traditional wines, what about aged brandy? What's interesting about this whole situation, Lucas, you were going to do it. I was like, Lucas, when my voice cracks a little bit, don't even bother busting my balls because it's happened so freaking much. So I was like, big ones, by all means, he was gonna. But anyway, so what's interesting about grapes is a lot of people don't know this, but cognac is made with grapes. So, obviously liquor could all, vodka could be potato, could be wheat, rum is going to be sugar. I mean, obviously we talked about the agave plants for tequila, but brandy and cognac is made with grapes. So it's pretty cool they're doing that. I'm hoping I can get my hands on some. I think it's going to be different, difficult because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, holy crap, let me get some of this.
How long till probably a couple years, right?
What's that?
How long till they can use?
So brandy itself is still in the aging process, but the results will be available directly from the winery and in its tasting room at the end of 2021. Pre-orders coming soon. So it's coming.
And I got something about that music.
Where in Cali is that?
Okay. Hoops is in Napa Valley. Go for it.
Christmas Day of '89, they blasted. At least I Fought the Law by the Clash, Panama.
I fought the law and the law. Dude, that's hilarious. This is Noriega?
Yeah.
Dude.
Panama by the Stadium Rock Band, Van Halen.
Wait, which one of Van Halen? Panama.
It was outside of his house, right?
Yeah.
Panama.
All I Want Is You, and Bruce Cockburn's If I Had a Rocket Launcher.
Outside of his house, right?
Yeah, outside his house. Dude, that's freaking hilarious, man.
But that's still not the same like being in prison.
Oh, and Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle, sure. All right, well, rock on. Research Lucas. All right, Alex, what you got? Something about the airlines?
Yeah. Recently, they started doing with JetBlue.
Yep.
A buddy of mine has a flight to, I think, New York, and they said that they were going to force the passengers to take COVID tests before flight.
Oh, so they have to take the COVID test before they can get on the flight?
All right.
Or before they even get to the airport.
And then otherwise, they have to hit up a 14-day quarantine at their destination.
Wow.
So now, how are they going to enforce the quarantine is my situation.
It's true. Very, very true. Damn. So
How would they get the results that fast?
Say again?
How are they going to get the results so fast?
Well, people come within, I think, 48 hours
of receiving
with their own test.
Okay.
Or JetBlue has their own test they'll do on site.
Wow.
And it'll be that quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why there's such testing that takes so long and some that's so quick. If it's such a serious fucking thing.
I think that, so I can't remember which country it was, but there's a South American country or maybe Central American country that was trying to go the fast test route And what they found is one of these fast tests, they bought a whole shit ton of them from China. And this test that they got didn't actually give you positive unless you are contagious. So instead of finding out if you have it no matter what, it was only giving positive to people that are contagious. So it wasn't giving positive to people that had it and weren't yet contagious. So, I mean,
that's straight, sort of.
I mean, the problem is like this is something, Alex, you and I were talking about earlier. They should be one fucking test, one fucking database, like one fucking message, like, instead of, quiet please. Okay, quiet please. Go for it, Lucas.
Peru.
Okay, so it's Peru. All right, fair enough.
Research Lucas.
All right, so, but that's the thing, like, and one of the things you're saying also, Alex, is like, you can't get a straight answer. One country, one person says this, another country, another person says this. And that's what the biggest issue is. And because of that, nobody knows what the fuck to believe. So.
Yep, that's the thing.
So I guess, these airlines, are they forcing it or?
Well, JetBlue is the first to say it, but I saw that in Europe, other European airlines were trying to do it to stimulate the growth because they're getting hit hard. So
stimulate the growth, meaning it's safe to fly now because everyone's getting tested?
Correct.
Okay.
They're thinking that's going to help the hit.
I think that would work.
You agree or disagree with it?
I have a flight in December that I'm about to cancel if they force me to take a COVID test.
Yeah. Because with the COVID test, you got to get all this information and you're in a freaking database.
I don't need to get tracked when an app was put on a phone that nobody knew about.
Oh, so nobody knew about the app?
No, nobody
I didn't know
knew
that.
What app?
People, he said, Laz, you know about that app?
No.
Open up your phone, go to Google settings. You'll see there's a COVID app where people could track if you have COVID or not.
Oh, and what? And on our phones?
Yep. Everybody's
now?
phone. Yep. Nobody knows about it.
Hold up. Google.
And
So what are we going to, where are we looking? Settings?
All right. I'm on Android, so let's go. Settings, then Google on Android.
Okay. So.
And then you'll see COVID-19 exposure notifications right on top. And then you have Apple, right?
yeah.
All right. Apple, it's somewhere in the settings. I forget where it is, though. But it's
Search
definitely
for
on
COVID.
100%.
Exposure notifications.
There it
yeah.
is.
Exposure
Wow.
notifications
So
are
now-
off. Mine are off though.
I thought medical records
So it
were
just
supposed
popped
to.
Wait,
up on your
were yours
phone.
on already, or it was
Damn.
off?
They say you have to put them on, but I'm sure they could activate it whenever they want.
It says turn on exposure notifications. Your phone is
Wow.
not collecting or sharing exposure notification with anyone. If you turn on exposure notification, information related to your exposure can only be shared with your permission. Yeah, whatever, sure.
Dude, they straight up just put that on everyone's phone.
Without
But I'm
anybody
pretty
knowing.
sure the last update probably put it on because I never saw that before.
Probably.
I just updated it though.
Fuck.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happened
that's
about 2
brand
months
new.
ago.
I'm not
It's-
seeing it.
Surprise.
It's under like emergency SOS.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess, damn, dude.
I thought medical records were supposed to be
Confidential.
exactly.
Well, it
so-
says if you want, but
and as soon as it's serious, it's not going to be a choice, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's true. No doubt about that. All right. Well, freaking Alex dropping bombs as usual. Knowledge bombs.
I'm out of here.
The secrets, man. All right, BBC, U.S. election 2020. Court allows Texas postal vote restrictions. A U.S. appeals court has issued a temporary stay that allows Texas to limit drop-off points to just one per county in next month's election. So in other words, if you don't want to vote in person, but you don't want to mail it in, you can just drop it. There literally was upheld to allow for just one per county. Drop-off points were set up to allow voters to submit ballots in advance rather than rely on the Postal Service. The decision came after another court blocked an order by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, a Republican, drastically limited these points. So it was struck down, and then appeals actually are like, no, we're going to let that happen. Democrats says it's going to obviously it's going to suppress voters. The order was issued by Governor Abbott earlier this month. He said it would help curb illegal voting, mirroring President Donald Trump's claims. The federal court then blocked Mr. Abbott's order in a ruling on Friday. However, with the latest ruling from the Court of Appeals, the state can now continue limiting the number of drop-off points. The Texas has a limit on who can request absentee ballots. Only voters who are over 65, have a disability, are in jail, or who will be out of town on Election Day. Governor Abbott's ruling means that some people in Harris County with 4 million people will have one fucking box to drop off their ballots.
Or one place.
Or one place. What was it? 1 point. Let's say 1 point. So, I mean, could you imagine like 4 million people? Let's say like 1% of them, want to go do it. I mean, they're not going to have freaking space for all that shit. It's bullshit.
But they're not going to go at the same time.
What?
But
well, okay.
That's not the point of it, though.
Fair enough. All right, Laz, you're up next. What you got?
A guy was going 118 miles per hour at a 45-mile-per-hour zone.
Oh, shit.
And he got pulled over, and he just told the cops he was testing new parts for his car.
Testing new parts for his car, okay.
A man from Georgia. They got him on body camera footage, and they said that's the fastest they've ever seen anybody go and get pulled over. It was a BMW.
He got arrested, right?
Yeah, he got arrested. He got arrested.
That's reckless endangerment.
Anything over 30 you can get arrested for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can get arrested for.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay. Jeez. 118
that's like
on
118
45?
right? On Collins, bro. That's crazy as fuck.
I mean...
That's like what Bieber was doing.
Yeah.
But at least they blocked the road. Like...
True. I guess that's true. Dude, I mean, it takes a while to get up to 118. It's got. I mean, if you're out in the boonies, you got some straight, I'm sure Lucas, the Route 30 bypass.
No, we don't do that up here.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Bullshit.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We had one back block when I was
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, right? Seriously.
When I was younger, we had a
Roscoe Pico train.
We had a back block.
Sure.
That was basically like just one straight road, and we used to always race back there.
Hell yeah.
But we never went up to like 118.
It's hard now though, to get away with it. Back then, less cameras, less radar, all that shit. So my next one. So you guys know Beat It by Michael Jackson. You know the guitar solo in there? The really famous guitar solo that comes out?
Yeah.
So did you guys know that was Eddie Van Halen?
No.
Exactly, dude. AP, how Eddie Van Halen transformed Michael Jackson's Beat It. Before Eddie Van Halen agreed to add a guitar break to Michael Jackson's Beat It, one of the most famous cameos in rock history, he had to be sure the phone call from producer Quincy Jones wasn't a practical joke. Van Halen himself would admit he was initially skeptical of contributing to Jackson's album, wondering how much he had in common with a singer he remembered for chanting ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. But Jackson had written Beat It as a rock song, anchored by a hard and funky riff by guitarist Steve Lukather. When Van Halen arrived in the studio in Los Angeles, Jones told him he could improvise. Van Halen listened to Beat It and asked if he could rearrange the song, and add a pair of solos during which engineers would long swear the speaker caught on fire.
Wow.
As he was finishing, Jackson walked in. I didn't know how he would react to what I was doing, so I warned him before I listened. I said, look, I changed a couple middle sections in your song. He told CNN. Now, in my mind, he's either going to have his bodyguards kick me out for butchering his song, or he's going to like it. And so he gave it a listen. And in turn, he went to me and went, wow, thank you. Wow, thank you so much for having the passion.
I knew you were going to do that shit.
Wow, thank you so much for having the passion to not just come in and blaze a solo, but actually care about the song and make it better. Van Halen worked for free, was not credited on the album, and it didn't appear in the video. His touch was undistinguishable, though. After the record's release, Van Halen would remember shopping in a Towers Records while Beat It was playing on the sound system. The solo comes on, and I hear these kids in front of me going, listen to this guy trying to sound like Eddie Van Halen. I tapped him on the shoulder and said, that is me, little bitch.
Oh, that's fire.
Got him.
Dude.
That's
who
fine.
knew? I mean, he wasn't credited. He never talked about, oh, that was me. Like, that just talks more about how much he was in love with the craft and in love with, the art and the music. People and not worried about, telling everyone that he was freaking on Beat It. What's that, Les?
They actually loved their music before. It wasn't, I'm pretty sure people still love their music that they make, but
for sure,
you can tell when you listen to certain things that they cared about what they were making.
100%. 100%. I just think it's cool that nobody knew about it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah.
What was that? Who was saying?
No, I was going to say there's a lot of people that are really into Van Halen, even Pantera up here.
Oh, dude, Van Halen, he was the one that like took the whole finger tapping thing and made it a thing. There were other like musicians, jazz, other people that were doing it, but he literally turned it into an art form, which is how he's able to, pull off a lot of those crazy, but he would play with tunings. He invented things. He literally has patents on specific mechanisms that can detune a guitar like on the fly. And dude, he was a badass. All right, so I got two more real quick ones. Daily News: Thailand zoo director shot dead while chairing a meeting on disappearing exotic animals. Anybody? No one? No one heard this? So authorities are investigating the murder of the head of Thailand Zoological Park organization called Zpot, who was shot and killed Saturday as he chaired a meeting investigating the disappearance of a rare albino deer. Zpot Director General Surya Singpong had traveled from Bangkok to the Songkhla Zoo in southern Thailand after a national minister of natural resources and the environment, Silapacha, said he suspected foul play in the disappearance of that and other animals. Zoo officials had claimed that the animal known as a barking deer had been eaten by a python in February, but it is also known that exotic wildlife is commonly kidnapped, poached, and sold on the international market. I was told that Mr. Surya went to the zoo to meet the director at the latter's office. The minister's secretary told Taiwan Times on Saturday. He then called a meeting with zoo officials, but I don't know the details of the talks. During the meeting, one veterinarian based in the Songkhla Zoo suddenly pulled out a gun, fired shots at Mr. Zupta in the face and the body 14 times.
Oh, they know what happened.
Yeah, he died instantly. The vet fled. Soon after the fleeing, he was found shot dead in exhibit Cordes, apparently a self-inflicted gun wound. Thai police are still investigating. So yeah, like apparently they freaking, are trying to like kill this guy because the zoo people are probably onto something and blah, blah, blah. Another freaking situation where how the fuck do you expect to get away with that? Couldn't you like set up some sort of like, hit or something? You're just going to come to the meeting and blast them in front of everybody.
That's crazy.
14 shots.
14 in the face and the freaking torso.
So what type of gun was he rocking?
Well, that's a good
Only
question.
a Glock.
Anything can have 14.
That is, I don't know.
Pretty much.
Glock, maybe. I mean, he certainly wasn't a machine gun. I mean, it's not like he walked in with like a cross of blow dart.
But other people weren't. Other people were there. He did anything else.
What's that?
There were other people at the meeting, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they weren't doing pat downs. So, yeah, it was probably whatever can carry 14 rounds.
You're just surprised.
He definitely unloaded the clip on that. What's that, Lucas?
My 1911, I have a 15-round magazine for that.
15 rounds?
It's standard as 8.
So he...
It's got the extended version, folks. All right, last one. CNN. This is today, Sunday. We're recording this. And when I saw the commercial, I was like, bro, there's no fucking way he said that. Fauci says he was taken out of context in Trump's new campaign ad touting coronavirus response. Dr. Anthony Fauci did not consent on being featured in a new advertisement from the Trump campaign touting President Donald Trump's handling the coronavirus pandemic. Instead, the nation's leading infectious disease expert told CNN his words were taken out of context. In my nearly 5 decades of public service, I've never publicly endorsed any political candidate. The comments attributed to me without my permission, the GOP campaign ad, were taken out of context from a broad statement I made months ago about the efforts of the federal public health officials. The ad narrator says in the advertisement, President Donald Trump is recovering from the coronavirus, and so is America. Together, we rose to meet the challenge of protecting our seniors, getting them life-saving drugs in record time, sparing no expense. And then it shows a flash of Fauci's like image saying, "I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more." Fauci said at the time, we never had a threat, and at the time, meaning this is what he actually said when they took it out of context. We've never had a threat like this. The coordinated response has been, there are a number of adjectives to describe it. Impressive, I think, is one of them. We're talking about all hands on deck. I, as one of many people on my team, and not the only person, since the beginning that we've even recognized what this was, I've been devoting almost all my time to this. I am down at the White House virtually every day with the task force. It's every single day. So I can't imagine that any other circumstances that anybody could be doing more. So they took that shit, shortened it to make it look like Fauci was talking about Donald Trump, which is so fucking ridiculous, dude. Like the fact that you're going to freaking do that is just, it's garbage. So it's not a surprise. I mean, it's not the first time Trump's in trouble for like using musical people or taking people out of context, blah, blah, blah.
Are they allowed to? They're not allowed to do that, right?
I mean, no one's going to, are you going to sue the president?
You're allowed to do anything you want
Yeah,
nowadays,
pretty
right?
much.
Oh, not really, bro. We have to sign consent forms here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, but the thing is, like, you're going to, like I said, you're going to sue the president for using your shit?
Won't be
Like
the
I would
first time we got
imagine.
sued.
I mean, Fauci's not going to. It's just, it's bullshit. So, all right. So, real quick, anybody got shout outs out there? Any shout outs, Laz?
Shout out to my boy Brandon from work. He listens to the show religiously.
Oh, you've been shouting him out before. Cool. Rock on, Brandon.
Cool.
Really appreciate it, man. Good stuff. Absolutely.
Oh, shout out to Apple Maps. I know we had that other thing with the COVID thing, but they show you red light cameras now.
Apple Maps does?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think Google does it yet. I hope they're getting there. So, Lucas, any shout outs?
Yeah.
No, none this week. Okay. Alex, any shout outs over there?
None.
Okay, cool. All right. So I want to shout out Russia. Finally listens. I'm sure it has to do with Elena. So, but we want to thank Russia for giving us a little listen. So New York, finally. Like, dude, I have so many friends up in New York. The fact that we finally got listens in New York recently. And the BWSS Cool Club. Rebecca, Lucas, not you, Lucas, because I know it's a first
I'm
thing.
smiling at something else.
Whatever, bitch. Elena, Alexis, Dave, Benoit, my boy Alex here, Chris Eldy. So these are people that decide, not decided, but they agreed to, help us by sharing our posts and stuff like that. Really appreciate it. So we're actually getting t-shirts printed. So they're going to be BWSS t-shirts, Cool Club t-shirts. So everyone on the Cool Club's going to get one. Guests are going to get one for sure. And of course, we'll have them up. In case anybody wants to buy one, can't imagine they would, but in case they do, they'll freaking be there. And if this is you guys full permission. If I say that being said or that being the case one more fucking time, because I say it a lot when I listen to the show, you're more than welcome to point it out. So, and then from now on, all of our deleted scenes are going to be putting up on YouTube because there is stuff that I got to take out to make sure the show isn't 2 hours long or whatever. So, those of you listening on audio, once again, we record on video, and our YouTube, you can watch everything. You can watch us, and all our deletes and scenes and stuff like that as well. So, and that's pretty much it. Any last minute thoughts before we take our first break? Anyone?
No, sir.
Anyone?
No, I
Right.
have a what the fuck quick news headline.
Okay, go for it.
Priest arrested for having threesome with corset wearing dominatrix on church altar.
Wait, what? What?
Why is he arrested for that? Because that was at church?
No, actually,
Probably because she's
dude,
underage.
no,
Dominatrix on a
it's
church
legal.
altar?
Yes, I got it from the
Okay.
New York Post, but it's also on Fox News.
Okay, all right.
I
See,
saw
that's
this before.
corroborated. Okay, go for it.
Okay. I'll just read it off because I like the New York Post. That's where I got the headline from.
New York Post is more salacious, but they don't report too much bullshit, so I do appreciate what they got going on.
A Louisiana priest was arrested for allegedly filming himself having sex with two dominatrix on the altar of his Catholic church. The priest identified as NOLA.com identified by NOLA.com as Reverend Travis Clark was busted after a passerby saw the lights on later than usual on September 30th, peeking inside the church.
That's fucking
He's like,
nuts.
what's going on in there?
This is one of the best paragraphs of this. The unidentified witness saw the half-naked priest having sex with the two women who were dressed in corsets and high-heeled boots. The altar was also adorned with stage lighting, several sex toys, and a cell phone mounted on a tripod that was recording the act.
Oh my God.
The only thing completely illegal, they were over 18. The only reason why it is illegal is because it's obscene because it was in view of the public.
So it was like a public
because
place.
the guy
Yeah,
saw
he
it.
walked through.
So if the guy didn't walk by, seeing
Almost got
nothing
away
would
with
happen.
it.
That's what I said. I was like, that's not really illegal.
No. NOAA.com added that Dixon, who was also an adult film actress, had posted on social media a day prior that she was traveling to New Orleans area to meet up with another dominatrix to defile a house of God.
Oh, dude.
Damn.
Wow.
Scripted.
So basically,
That's great.
Just obscene, being obscene in public. It's the
Maybe this
charge.
priest is doing it on purpose. He wants to be famous.
Well,
I mean,
he was
it's
ordained
worked.
in 2013, and the Archbishop of the New Orleans Archdiocese visited the church to perform a ritual that would restore the sanctity of the altar.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
There we go.
You
And,
have to tear the place down after that shit.
and instead of
soiled the sanctity of our
What's crazy, if that was like in a porn, you would just think it was an act.
Oh, they have porns like that.
And that's what I'm
sure.
saying. Like you would just be
Yeah.
like, oh shit, that's
Question is, how many
Actually-
times has he done it before this? That's the question. This is the only time he got caught. Just like that, I was thinking about when the tons of condoms in Thailand being resold.
Oh yeah, that's fucking
You know,
nuts,
like
bro.
how many times did she get away with that shit?
one of the ladies, Melissa Chang, who was 23. The other one was 41. Mindy
Damn.
Dixon. Melissa Chang looked like a female Marilyn Manson.
Oh God. Okay. Not very attractive. Wow. All right. Well, what are you gonna do?
That ruined it for me.
Yeah, right? Because we're all picturing like, all right, priest with some hot, all right, whatever. All right, rock on. We're going to take our first break. We'll be back shortly. Boom.
Boom.
Laz cannot wait to get those on. Are we ready to rock? With the new bells?
Show.
I'm actually pretty excited about that. The new one is pretty awesome, especially the last one. I'm huge in like physics and crap like that. All right, so we're back. So we're gonna get into the Nobel winners, the ones that have been announced so far, and I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off with medicine. So this is from Science News. Hepatitis C discoveries win Nobel's 2020 prize in physiology or medicine. So 3 virologists have won the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine for university for the discovery of hepatitis C virus. Harvey Alter of the U.S. National Institute of Health in Bethesda, or the NIH. Michael Houghton, who is now at the University of Alberta in Edmonton, Canada, and Charles Rice, now the Rockefeller University in New York City, will split the prize of 10 million Swedish kroner, or about $1.1 million. About 71 million people worldwide have chronic hepatitis C infections. An estimated 400,000 people die each year of the complications from the disease, which includes cirrhosis and liver cancer. Today, the major way people get infected is through contaminated needles used for injecting or intravenous drugs. But when researchers made the discoveries in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, blood transfusions were a large source of hepatitis C infection. This is a bit overdue, said Dennis Brown, Chief Science Officer of the American Physiological Society. And the reason why is because, I mean, this shit was discovered, 20 years ago, and they're just now giving it out, which is something you're generally going to find in Nobels. It takes a while before they actually, give you your Nobel Prize. But I mean, it's pretty awesome. They had hepatitis A, they had hepatitis B. And what happened was they found that even though they were screening the blood for this stuff, they were finding that people were still getting hepatitis. They couldn't figure out why that was. So it was these three people who ended up figuring it out. Alter worked at a blood bank in the NIH back in the 60s when hepatitis B was discovered, which actually won a Nobel Prize in 76. And blood could be screened so people wouldn't get the virus. Transfusions, they were still getting hepatitis, like I said. Alter and his colleagues showed in the late 1970s a new virus dubbed non-A and non-B. So in other words, non-hepatitis A, non-hepatitis V was causing the infection. And that virus could be used to transmit the disease in chimpanzees. So basically, he was the first one. He was the one who said, oh, okay, there's got to be another one out there because we're screening for everything. It's not working. So then Rice and his colleagues, so that was Alter. The question still remained about whether the hepatitis C virus alone was responsible for the infection. Rice and his colleagues working at Washington University in St. Louis stitched together genetic fragments. This is insane when you think about it. You know, like 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, stitched together genetic fragments of the virus pulled from blood of infected chimpanzees into a working virus and demonstrated it could cause hepatitis in animals. And over a decade later, Houghton, who's the third person winning, working for the pharmaceutical company Chiron Corp, now part of Novartis, developed a way to pull fragments of the virus genetic material from the blood and developed a test to screen for hepatitis C. So he had one person that said, okay, there's something actually, Alter was like, hey, there's something else going on here other than hepatitis A and B. Rice was the person who was able to put the virus together and found it could replicate in chimpanzees. And Houghton was the one who developed the screening for it so they could keep people from getting it through blood transfusions and stuff like that. So pretty awesome, I got to say. I mean, when you think about the fact that, you know, back 30, 40 years ago, they were doing this stuff. It's pretty freaking amazing. So that's what I got. So chemistry. Who had chemistry?
I did.
That was you, Lucas? All right. Yep. Lucas, fire away.
We have the ladies that won the chemistry are Emmanuel Carpentier and Jennifer Duna. They created what essentially comes down to as genetic scissors.
Sure.
Where they could snip out certain DNAs of plants and viruses and bacteria to create new strains. Originally discovered back in 2011, the same year she initiated a collaboration with Jennifer Duna, an experienced biochemist with a vast knowledge of RNA. Together, they succeeded in recreating the bacteria's genetic scissors in a test tube and simplifying the scissors' molecular components so they were easier to use.
Sure. CRISPR, basically, for those of you who are familiar with CRISPR. So they're the ones that discovered it, and literally allows you to take a piece of DNA and say, you know what, we're going to slice it right here, we're going to slice it right here, and we're going to, do whatever, glue it together, put another piece in there, yada, yada, yada. So...
And also has a hand in medicine with new clinical trials for new cancer treatments.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of amazing stuff. One of the biggest downsides, not downsides, but what's happening is companies that are finding certain genes or something like that, they're trying to patent them, So what they'll do is they're like, oh, well, we made this with this, and this is our patent and blah, 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 which... I mean, technically it's all right, but it's turned into this whole new,
a business instead of
exactly.
Society.
So what's interesting, so I kind of looked into this a little bit. Sickle cell, you guys are familiar with sickle cell?
Yes.
So it affects more African Americans than and Asian people and Latin people and stuff like that. This is really interesting. So this is NPR. A year in, first patient to get gene editing for sickle cell disease is thriving, and she used the CRISPR. Like millions of other Americans, Victoria Gray has been sheltering at home with her children as the U.S. struggles through deadly pandemic, and as protests over peace violence have erupted across the country. But Gray is not like any other American. She's the first person with a genetic disorder to be treated in the United States with a revolutionary gene editing technique called CRISPR, CRISPR. So, and as the 1 year anniversary of her landmark treatment approaches, Gray has received good news. The billions of genetically modified cells doctors infuse into her body clearly appear to be alleviating virtually all the complications of her disorder, sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease, a rare blood disorder that disproportionately affects African Americans in the U.S., can be difficult to treat effectively. The last time NPR spoke with Gray in November, her doctors had just gotten the first hints the treatment might be working. Now, after 9 months of careful testing, the treatment shows no signs of waning, making her doctors more confident than ever that the experiment has been a success. So, he used CRISPR. It's really freaking positive. So, what's interesting about celiac, I looked this up because I just kind of want to get a little more information about it. Celiac.com. The sickle cell gene is and was essential to having to those living in Africa along with the Mediterranean, where malaria was an issue. Without the sickle cell gene, people would die from malaria. If the sickle cell gene was present when malaria organism infected the blood, the cell would form a sickle cell. So basically what it looks like a half moon. The cell just kind of folds over, which would not support the malaria organism, thus protecting the individual from the disease. Again, it was essential that this gene be present to protect that individual. I didn't know that. But apparently when malaria affects the red blood cell, people with sickle cell, the blood cell will just fold over and boom, the malaria wouldn't be able to infect you. But the problem is like gluten and wheat and all this processed food that us white folks, are used to. It's not really, it's something that our body's used to, but people with sickle cell, they come over and I was going to look into it, but it turned into this big deal. Why gluten is, really affects it, but it causes the blood to fold over where it should and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so CRISPR, that's pretty awesome, man. So 2011, I guess that wasn't too long of a wait, 9 years, something like that. All right, literature. Laz, you're up. Go for it, bro.
All right, we have Louise Gluck.
Gluck, yep.
She's a poet. She's been writing for like a really long time.
Like decades, like 40, 50 years.
She's like 87 years old now.
77.
77?
Yep.
Yeah. She went to Columbia University and somewhere else. But she has like a whole bunch of awards besides this one. This is like not nothing.
I mean, it's pretty big, but
yeah. But she was surprised that she was chosen, especially that she was white and she lived in a place that was having a whole bunch of problems with certain things.
Sure.
So she was very surprised when she got the call in the morning and everybody kept blowing her up. So far, I think she's the only winner for that.
So she is I think the fourth woman ever to win. And the first American since Bob Dylan won in 2016, who didn't show up for the ceremony. Toni Morrison was the last American to receive the prize in 1993, but I think she was the first woman to receive it for literature.
She's very humble, actually, with the winnings.
Sure.
Like I said, she didn't expect to get it, and she's been home since the quarantine. Because she's divorced and she like lives alone.
Yeah.
And she has 6 nights a week. She used to go out with her friends for dinner, and now she's been like home all the time. So she's excited about all the
fanfare.
Fanfare.
Sure.
She's like, there's a line of news reporters outside her house every day.
Good for her, man.
She wrote 12 books of poetry. She has like 15 regular books. She looks. I feel like she deserves it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't really follow Nobel Prize stuff, so it was like something new for me.
Sure.
So I didn't even know what to look for exactly. So I was just gonna go on her. Her family, her mom and dad are both Jewish, but from different. Her grandparents are both Jewish from different countries.
Cool.
They owned a grocery store in New York.
Grocery store, like one of those like little mini ones, or like full on?
Like a full-on grocery store.
Nice. Okay.
Her dad did something. I can't remember.
Did you by any chance get a poem to read by her?
No, I didn't.
Oh, luckily
I'm not into
did.
that type of stuff. Oh, you did. Am I reading it?
Sure are.
Oh yeah, that would have been hilarious.
I got you a short one though. It's only 3 stanzas.
It's fine.
It's not too bad.
Do I have to use my poem voice?
For those that don't know what a stanza is, would you like to?
So sure, fair enough. So poems are basically, you have your set of. They're like paragraphs in a poem. So a stanza could basically be like the first set of words, and in other words, like Lucas is really dumb, yeah, and he's not much fun, but we don't care because he's a piece of crap. That'd be the first stanza.
You're such a douche.
He has no friends, and I don't really care, and he's still a piece of crap. That would be like the second stanza. So, for instance, I'm just saying, for instance. So, aren't you glad he asked, Lucas? All right. So, please, hold on.
Laz's Corner of Positivity.
Oh, man.
There we go. All right. So, why don't
It
you
wasn't
go
a
for
question. It's for the viewers.
it? Yeah. So,
The Night Migrations by Louis Gleck. This is the moment when you see again the red berries of the mountain ash, and in the dark sky, the birds' night migrations. It grieves me to think the dead won't see them. These things we depend on, they disappear. What will the soul do for soulless then? I tell myself maybe it won't need these pleasures anymore. Maybe just not seeing is simply enough hard as that to imagine.
all right.
Laz's Corner of
The
Positivity.
night migrations.
Night migrations. There we go. Nicely done. All right. All right. So, well, then I guess with that, we're going into peace. Alex, take it away.
Peace. David Beasley. Anyone ever heard of him?
He is the head of, what is it? The World Food Program? Yeah.
Yep. He used to be a former governor of South Carolina as well.
Okay. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Fair enough.
So who did he win again? I think Trump, right?
What was that?
Did Trump was another runner-up that he beat out,
He was
right?
nominated. I don't know about runner-up per se.
Yeah, all right. Well, good. 'Cause Trump didn't need it anyway.
No, I can't. How could they give it to Trump?
No, bro.
Seriously.
I don't know how he was nominated, but
Sure.
whatever. I don't know. But anyway, so this guy fight against hunger to work prevent use of hunger as a weapon of war and conflict was honored with Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, yeah.
It said that the award came as a surprise, but is ultimately a testament to the organization of money of the work amid the pandemic. COVID comes on top of what you already thought was a worst-case scenario, and it's all compounded, exacerbated problems around the world. It's literally horrific. At the beginning of the year, 135 million people already faced foundation. Now 270 are on the brink.
Wow.
We got a vaccination against food. We have a vaccination against starvation. It's called Foods, said Beasley. The award comes with an equivalent of 101.1 million U.S. cash prize and a gold medal to be handed out in Oslo on December 10th,
Yep.
which is a day I'm supposed to be returning from New York if I don't cancel my trip. Little insider info right there.
Sure.
So the economies of the world's strongest nations on earth are struggling. We're not going to have the money we need next year. Not only are the resources going to go down, but needs are going to be going up, he said. We have 18,000 men and women out there in the field putting their lives on the line every day in war, in conflict zones, you name it. He's currently working in Nigeria, faces a threat from extremist terrorist groups and climate change. The good news and the bad news is the fact that we're winning, but that means that people are suffering around the world.
Yeah, that's true.
They started in 62, and now they're helping 88 countries. And that's it. He said it's an honor to receive the award, and it's inspiration for others to step up and help out.
Oh, yeah.
That's fire.
Nice. Oh, yeah. So he said, I was literally for the first time in my life without words when they won. So it's pretty awesome. That's for sure.
So far, everybody's well deserved their prize.
Yeah. I mean, I would, at this point, I'm pretty sure. The only issue that I noticed researching all this is that the Nobel only gives out, there's only 3 people maximum. So especially with like CRISPR and probably even, the World Food, sorry, I should know this, the World Food Program, all of them, there's all these people that really are involved and stuff like that. But that's what's up right there. Boom. So all these freaking people that are involved, but they can only have 3 people like on the actual winnings or whatever. So, but it's pretty awesome. So yeah, it was 1961, 62 that it was started by Eisenhower. He asked for a workable scheme to be devised for providing food aid through the UN system. Months after it was created, it responded to a major earthquake in northern Iran, delivering wheat, sugar, and tea to survivors. So that was its first like real test and everything. All right, and then lastly,
My question is, the food that they're giving out, is it food that's being made chemically or is it grown? You know what I'm saying? Because all this
I
other
wonder
food.
that too. Lucas, can you look up and see where the food comes from? Where they get their food from?
Research Lucas.
Because I know everything's a business, and
It's possible. It's possible.
What's that program called?
So the World Food Program. Yeah, just find out where they get their food from. All right, physics, CNN and Science News. I used them both to kind of really put this together. Nobel Prize in Physics awarded for black holes discovery that revealed the darkest secrets of the universe. The 2020 Nobel Prize in Physics has been awarded to scientists Roger Penrose, Reinhard Genzel, and Andre Ghez for their discoveries about black holes. This year's prize was about the darkest secrets of the universe, says Goran K. Hassan, secretary for the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. He said that Tuesday at the ceremony in Stockholm. Penrose, a professor at the University of Oxford, who worked with the late Stephen Hawking, showed that black holes must be a physical reality, proving Einstein's theory of general relativity theory. But while Einstein's general theory of relativity predicts the existence of black holes, Einstein himself thought that they weren't real. He was like, I mathematically said that they're there, but I don't see. Same thing with spooky action in the distance, which is a quantum entanglement. Mathematically, he proved, which is fucking nuts back then, that he proved that quantum entanglement, which means if you take two electrons from the same atom and you take them theoretically to infinity away, if you flip this one, then this one's going to automatically flip. So that's where you're talking about these quantum computers. That's what they're trying to do. Same thing to be able to use it for like cryptography and stuff like that as well. So anyway, Penrose was one of the ones that said, he was able to prove that, these black holes really do exist. This is a while back. And so Penrose invented mathematical strategies to tackle the complexities of black holes. His work revealed that black holes, instead of being just mathematical artifacts of Einstein's theory, could form in conditions likely to exist in the universe. So Genzel and Ghez, the other two people who won alongside Penrose, discovered a supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, beginning in the 1990s. And I remember when this was announced, and I remember, of course, it's easy for me to say this now, but I remember thinking before they actually announced this back in the 90s that that's what I thought was there, because at the center of our galaxy is just a big black nothing, and something's all these stars are circling around or whatever. So anyway, they each led their own teams. They used telescopes to peer at the center of the Milky Way, measuring the orbits of stars that zip around the galaxy's heart. Those stars move so fast, both teams found, that only an incredibly compact, massive object such as a giant black hole could explain the trajectories. Penrose, Genzel, and Ghez together showed us that black holes are awe-inspiring, mathematically sublime, and actually exist. Tom McLeish, the professor of national philosophy at the University of York, told the Science Media Center in London. So Ghez was born in New York City, professor at the University of California in Los Angeles. She's only the fourth woman to win the Nobel Prize in Physics. Okay, so I said fourth woman to win it for literature. It was actually this one in physics. It was awarded to a woman for the first time in 55 years in 2018 when Donna Strickland won for groundbreaking inventions in the field of laser physics. I think today I feel more passionate about the teaching side of my job than I ever have, Ghez said after the announcement, because it's so important to convince the younger generation that their ability to question and their ability to think is just crucial to the future of the world. So, basically prove that black holes existed mathematically, and then these other two, Ghez and Genzel, prove that there's one at the center of our galaxy, and they think they're at the center of most galaxies. Those of you who don't know what a black hole is, it essentially when a star explodes, if it's big enough, the gravitational wake of the star exploding will actually compact everything to where matter is so tight that not light can escape, nothing can escape. Some people think that the Big Bang started with an exploding black hole, yada yada yada. But that's pretty much it for the Nobel Prize winners. So, hold on. Lucas has a sign up. Go for it, Lucas.
And for the WFP,
yep,
I found
World Food
it.
Program.
Yep, found some things. You have to apply to
give them food.
Give them food as a company.
Okay.
One of the things that I actually found interesting is the minimum requirement. Proof financial capacity with an annual turnover of at least $5 million for the last 3 consecutive fiscal years.
As a company?
As a company.
Okay.
Just
wow.
minimum requirement.
So if I want to just go give some money to the World Food Program, I'm out of luck, I guess, is what you're saying. All right.
But there's nothing on who or what or whatever.
So you got to be bringing in a lot of money. You got to do it for 3 years in a row.
Like Publix
and be licensed.
Sure. That makes sense.
Be licensed as an exporter. Not to be included in the United Nations Security Council consolidated list.
Okay. So it sounds like if they're offering genetically modified food, it sounds like they'll take them.
Research
And
Lucas.
at 4.4 million megatons was delivered in 2019.
4.4. What's a megaton? Is that 1,000 tons? Sounds like it.
I don't know what that is.
It would have to be 1,000, I would think, for it to be mega.
I'm pretty sure people that are hungry don't care if the food.
So pretty much the fake food is legit, right?
The fake food is legit. It sounds like they'll take it.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Pretty sure if you're hungry, you're gonna take it.
Yeah, I don't
anyways.
think they're going to be like, I'm sorry, we're not going to take this.
Sorry, only
So-
organic for me.
We'll guinea pig it.
Hey, that's how the vaccines are going in Africa, right?
metric ton. Sorry.
What,
Mega-
a metric ton? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That
One
makes
metric-
sense.
I was
Metric
going
ton.
to say megaton is a
It's like
nuclear
megaton.
bomb.
It's like 3.21 gigawatts or whatever the fuck it is.
No,
All right.
but one metric ton is 2,204 pounds.
Oh, it's not 2,000?
No,
Interesting.
it's just
2200.
over.
Okay. All right. So attempted government kidnapping. We're going to jump into this real fast. So 13 charged in a plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. BBC, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer was moved around as FBI tracked militia plot to kidnap her. Michigan's governor was kept updated about the plot to abduct her and was moved around as the FBI tracked her would-be kidnappers. The university, really? The U.S. State's Attorney General has revealed. On Thursday, the FBI said it had thwarted the plot by alleged militiamen who planned to hold a treason trial for the governor. A total of 13 men have been charged. They're going to hold a treason trial. So I'm sure she'll get a fair trial. Strict measures against the coronavirus in Michigan have made Governor Whitmer a target for COVID-19 skeptics. On Friday, Attorney General Dana Nessel told CBS News at times she and her family were moved around as a result of the activities that law enforcement was aware of. Ms. Nessel said the Democratic governor had been kept updated about the investigation in recent months. The suspects came close enough to executing their plan that police had to move in before anybody lost their lives. So these militiamen, they're like, we're going to take it upon ourselves to kidnap the governor of Michigan because we don't like the lockdown and blah, 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 blah.
Two of them are Marines.
Two of them are or actually one of them just got out like a month or two ago.
So
Imagine a court-martial.
Wow.
Bro.
Seriously.
They probably could have did it.
It's possible. I mean, being Marines, I'm sure they certainly had the capacity with tactile, ability to use weapons and get their hands on them and stuff like that. It wouldn't be unsurprising, that's for sure. Did you guys hear about this before I brought it up?
Negative.
No?
I saw the headline, but I didn't read it.
I got you. In a news conference on Thursday, the governor tied the plot against her to the rhetoric of President Donald Trump, who said she had spent months, who she said had spent months, in other words, Donald Trump, stoking distrust, fomenting anger, and giving comfort to those who spread fear and hatred and division. According to social media posts cited by U.S. media, some of the suspects had previously expressed support for Donald Trump. The one militiaman had called President a tyrant, adding, every single person that works for the government is your enemy, dude. It literally says that. The government is your enemy, dude.
Do you see the mug shots of them?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they just look like
They look
type
like
of
they would be doing something like that.
It's funny because two of them look exactly alike. Like,
Yeah,
they must be
the first
brothers.
two.
Sure enough, they're brothers. So in April, Mr. Trump had backed anti-lockdown protesters, tweeting, "Liberate Michigan," in all caps. A month later, armed protesters opposed the lockdown, stormed the state capitol. Michigan's attorney general confirmed on Thursday that two men photographed at the May protest are among the arrested plot suspects. On Thursday night, Mr. Trump, a Republican, sought to take credit for federal investigators in limiting the alleged threat to the governor. Rather than say thank you, she calls me a white supremacist, while Biden and Democrats refuse to contain Antifa, anarchists, and looters and mobs that burn down Democratic-run cities, he tweeted. So, he wants her to, thank him for, capturing these guys when he had nothing to fucking do with it, of course. So, no surprise there. So, and yeah, they're literally like in a bunker, like underneath the trap door, like covered by a rug, plotting. And what had happened was there was an inside guy who was in there undercover reporting all this crap. So one of the people that was in there wasn't actually one of them. And he got involved and was letting the FBI know exactly what's up. And there you go. So 6 men, 5 from Michigan, 1 from Delaware, accused in federal court of plotting the kidnap. These 6 were named as Adam Fox, Barry Croft, Caleb Franks, Daniel Harris, Brandon Cassert, and Ty Garbin. Mr. Garbin's resident in a trailer park, imagine that, was raided by authorities on Wednesday. The other 7 men charged of terrorism and gang-related offenses in state court in connection with the alleged abduction plot. They are Paul Beller, Sean Fix, Eric Molitor, Michael Knoll, William Knoll, those are the brothers I was talking about, Peter Musico, and Joseph Morrison. The group wished to gather 200 men to storm the Capitol building and taking hostages, including the governor. They hope to enact their plan before the presidential election. If that failed, they were going to take the governor at her home. So, fucking A, dude. Freaking militias and shit like that. And yeah, 2 of them were Marines. Joseph Morrison and Daniel Harris were both in the Marine Corps. Morrison, 42, continued to serve with their reserve forces until last week. He exited from the reserves and is unrelated to his exit from the reserves is unrelated to the Michigan. In other words, he didn't leave the reserves so he could plot this.
I think it was just his time.
Yeah, pretty much.
They said the reserve said they had nothing. Our
Nothing to do
beliefs
with it.
have nothing to do with whatever they were doing.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely going to say that.
But we have nothing to do with him. We don't even know him anymore. He's been gone a month.
Yep.
Like,
seriously.
oh man.
Morris joined the reserves in 2015, earning the rank of Lance Corporal, and later served as an equipment mechanic with an engineer support company, Battle Creek, Michigan. Harris, 23, was a rifleman with the Marine Corps from June 15th to June 19th. So thank God not thank God, but if they were still in the military, they would have had some serious, serious issues with court martials and shit like that. So let me ask you, do you guys think that Trump's rhetoric, I guess we could say, all the shit that he's saying, is one of the reasons they decided to go forward with this, or do you think they're planning it anyway? Do you think his rhetoric, contributes to a lot of the militia bullshit out there, obviously like Rittenhouse and shit like that?
Yes and no. Subconsciously, yes, 100%. But
I think subconsciously 100%. I'm with you on that.
You can't think that any of these people that do these things have that belief that someone's going to come protect them because they said to do
I
it.
think they do. I mean, I think Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old kid, probably thought that Trump would protect him maybe. That's probably true. Like, once you're grown,
Going in
the hell are you laughing at?
No, you said 17-year-old kid, Trump would protect him. I just imagine Trump coming in like Superman to protect him.
With a big Trump OT on his jacket or chest or
DNA
whatever.
is USA.
Jeez.
Like, and when anyone's going to do something that they know is not right, they're not going to think that someone's going to protect them.
Sure.
Rittenhouse probably did not think that he was not right. That's the whole thing.
He probably thought he was doing the right thing. Well, the cops, we already talked about it. The cops were freaking thanking him, giving him water and
that's
shit.
what I'm saying. Even this group, they probably was like, this is what's going to be the best for us right now. I hope they're not thinking like, they weren't just sitting there being negative. It's like, oh, we're going to kidnap the governor and raid the government house. I mean,
wonder how long they were plotting this shit for.
You got to remember, even when
Apparently
the US
not long.
became free,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody in England was like, what the fuck are these motherfuckers doing down there?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You're not, if you think, I believe if you feel like something is wrong, most people are not going to do it.
Sure.
So if you feel like something is right, you're going to do whatever you have to do to prove your point.
Sure.
Until they're like, oh, you know what? This doesn't
sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you realize, oh shit, I fucked up.
No, bro, this is totally right. We're going to storm it. We're going to take the governor and we're going to give her a trial of, what were they going to like take her to a barn and like have like one of them was going to be the fucking judge or whatever?
Who knows?
Jesus.
But I wonder how they feel about it now.
Yeah, pretty fucking stupid, I would think. Now that they got found out and the whole world, everyone's laughing at them. By the way, Boogaloo Boys, I don't know if you guys heard this crap. Apparently this is a thing. BOIS. It's been reported these men have links to a militia group known as the Boogaloo Boys, BOOGALOO, BOIS. This is a movement that has grown online. The term Boogaloo is usually a reference to a civil war. They have entrenched hatred of big government. Confusingly, they're also often pro-Trump, though not exclusively, hence why their ire is often focused on state rather than federal government. Social media took a long time to act on Boogaloo. Facebook removed a number of Boogaloo groups in June, including the group that these 5 men were allegedly a part of. Even now, it's very easy to find Boogaloo videos on social media. The hashtags they use often change, so it's hard to keep up. What's that, Lucas? What's got you?
No, you're saying Boogaloo a lot, but no,
It's not easy.
With this whole Trump thing, have you heard about the Proud Boys in Twitter?
Of course, yeah. All the gay guys took it over and everything. I think it's great. One of the guys is like, we don't care. We think it's awesome. You know, they can take it, they can use it, whatever. Bitch, you're pissed. So, all right. Any last minute thoughts before we take our second break? All right, boom. We'll be back very, very shortly.
Boom.
Can't wait to take them off.
Oh, here we go. I could do it without the headphones.
We're going to jump right into Lucas's weather. So, are you ready? Are you ready with the weather, Lucas?
Yes.
Okay. So, where do we have the weather this week?
This week, I will ask, do we have any listeners outside of Annie in New Mexico?
In New Mexico? I don't think so. I don't know if I've seen New Mexico. Hold on. Let me check here real fast.
90 days.
Nope, nobody in New Mexico, so not even Annie. Aww. That's okay.
We're still white.
What's that?
We're still white.
That's Russia.
No, I'm talking about on the U.S.
Oh, white is not listened to as many times, so I got some bad news, Lucas.
What?
I just realized that when I hit record, it didn't record, so we didn't get your weather.
Really?
Really. So we're going to go ahead and do it real fast because you already got it and it's fine. So this week, what do we got for the weather this week, Lucas?
Oh, man.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Got him.
So, Lucas, what do we got for weather this week? I'll pretend like I never heard it.
This week, we have Truth or Consequence, New Mexico.
Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. All right. So once again, some dumbass thought of that, and another dumbass was like, "Yeah."
Why do you think they came up with that name?
Do you think that like they just had like they were drunk or some shit like that?
Or somebody fucked up and then
No,
like,
that's old school. They used to have truth and consequences with courts and people getting shot up.
Okay, so then I guess it's like, listen, we don't fuck around. Maybe.
And
the Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
This has come from Wikipedia.
Okay.
The first bath in the air is built by John Cross Ranch over Geronimo Springs in the late 1800s. However, major settlement did not begin until the construction of Elephant Butt Dam and Reservoir.
What? Elephant Butt Dam and Reservoir?
Yeah, BUTTE. Butt.
You didn't drive over that one, did you?
Dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So Elephant Butt Reservoir, Dam and Reservoir in Truth and Consequences.
Yep. They're part of the Rio Grande project in the early 1600s, around 1612 to 1616.
Wow.
authorized by the Reclamation Act of 1902. The town is
Okay.
incorporated as Hot Springs. It became a Sierra County seat in 1937. The city changed its name to Truth or Consequences as a result of a radio show contest in March of 1950.
Oh, dude. That's awesome. They had the balls to actually do it. Remember Bodie McBokeface?
Yes.
So I don't know if it was Sweden or whatever. They had this big like research vessel that was supposed to be like one of the most amazing like marine research vessels like ever derived, and they had like a freaking like international like
Yep.
vote on the best name. Somebody put in Bodie McBoatface and it won, and
everybody's
they didn't
fucking
do it. They didn't have the balls to do it.
Did you see what the Philadelphia airport did about
No.
the new snowplows?
I hate that. Airport.
Oh, I've heard something about snowplows. What was it?
I believe one of them was named Snow John.
Snow John. That's right.
J-A-W-N.
Totally. All right.
Jinx,
So
personal
let's.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Okay, fair enough. A Coke, really?
You still do that shit?
I mean, owe me a beer, owe me a Coke. You owe me a Coke, sir. All right, so let's start with Tuesday. Let me guess, it's going to be fucking hot and sweltering every day. It's certainly not going to rain. Not going to rain.
No, you'll be wrong.
Okay, go ahead. Fair enough.
Tuesday, October 13th, high of 90, low of 57. Sunny with a chance of precipitation at 0 with the winds coming out of the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour.
Sunny. Imagine that.
Wednesday, October 14th, high of 94, low of 58.
94, sizzling again.
Shunny.
Sunny. Yeah, I'm sure.
Precipitation at 0 with the winds coming out of the west-northwest at 6 miles per hour.
Sure.
Thursday, October 15th, high of 84, low of 50.
All right.
Sunny again. Precipitation at 0% with the winds coming out of the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour.
All right.
I think I've heard this before.
Little windy. Deja vu.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Friday.
October 16th, Mom's birthday.
Mom's birthday.
Birthday, mom.
Hey. High of 75, low of 49. Shunny again.
Shunny again.
Precipitation at 0% with the winds coming out of the south at 11 miles per hour.
Okay.
And rounded out with Saturday, October 18th. Or sorry, Saturday, October 17th.
17th. Okay.
I clicked on Saturday, expanded it out, and read down to the next line for the
Sure.
18th. High of 86, low of 53. Winds
All
coming
right.
west-northwest at 8 miles per hour with the precipitation at 0%.
Okay.
Research Lucas with the weather.
Hey, I give the truth, and you guys have to deal with the consequence.
Give the truth and we'll deal with the consequences. Look at this
Consequence did
cool
not
guy.
sound favorable.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right. So that being said, Lucas, you said you had some beef.
Yes, I have beef. People of Walmart.
Hold on.
What? You got beef?
Go for it.
People of Walmart.
Yes.
Fuck off and learn how to walk.
Learn how to walk.
I went shopping yesterday. Literally, paper towels, cat food, laundry detergent.
How long did it take you there? An hour?
It felt like a fucking hour because all these people were standing in the middle of the aisle talking. And multiple people.
I'm
as
sure they were taking up a lot of space, right?
were not skinny people.
Yes, they were rotund or portly, if you will.
Yes.
How are the people though in your town? Are they like more chunky?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Chunky and white.
White. We
Yeah.
do have a large Hispanic Latino population.
That's true. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's mostly white.
So your
No,
beef is people in Walmart taking up space and
No, it's-
in the way.
I would assume your Walmart is way bigger than our Walmart's here, right?
I haven't been to that Walmart. I don't know.
It's a super center.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, it's massive. It's
Yeah.
got groceries, the whole nine.
Yeah. No, and it's also the people that you see me walking straight, but you still cut the aisle,
Sure.
walk in front of me, and stop.
They do that here, though.
It's just Walmart people.
Yeah, for sure.
I had one person do that to me twice
Okay.
within 5 minutes.
I hate it, but if I
And
have to
did you
buy
say
a
something?
whole bunch of things, I'll
No,
go
but they
online.
had a small child hanging off the side of the cart that I kind of wanted to just graze and be like, hey, I was walking shit.
Just graze him with your hip.
As a father,
All right. Just graze nuts. Mom, you fucked up. Okay. And Alex, you're wondering.
Am I an asshole?
So you said you were wondering you're if you're an asshole?
Yeah, because I'm just trying to make shit run smoother. I'm always on top of my shit. So at work,
And on time.
yeah, you know how it is. So at work, I'm always trying to make shit efficient and set everything up so everything's smooth during the shift. But 80% of the people do none of the work and 20% do. So
Yep.
just like in any
Especially-
other
is it a
job.
most
pool
places,
house?
bro.
Yeah, so
Pooled house, right?
no, it's not a pool
Okay,
house.
okay.
But regardless, all
Sure.
the extra shit
The
that needs to be done.
side workings.
Yeah, so I understand that and all that, but when I was out of work, I heard someone asking, "Yo, why is that kid always mad or whatever?" Another coworker said that shit to me, so I was like, "Whatever." And she came to my defense and said, "Yo, well, nothing's ever set up, nothing's ever correct because you guys are always fucking around, leaving shit behind, not cleaning up after yourself." He's like, even if the shit was 100%, he'd still be that way. And she's like, well, you'd never know because shit is never 100% here.
Yeah.
I've worked with you. You work fire, so I don't have.
Yeah,
you
but-
came to me and been like, "I'm mad about something." I would take your word for
But
it.
both y'all work with me when you guys didn't even know what I had, dog.
Sure.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Even at that
spot,
time,
that shit, like, you don't even know.
even at that time, you were, for me, essentially a good worker. I think.
Yeah, but I was just wondering, am I an asshole to be on point and make everything run smoothly at all times just because motherfuckers are not on that level?
Nah, you're
And
not
to be
an
on top of people all the time.
I think after a while, if they're not listening, then you're just,
An asshole.
Then you're just an asshole.
Nah,
Yes.
bro. It has to change, bro. Like,
But they're not going to. One of the things my mom, she's a life coach, meditative healer, like all that shit. And the one thing that she would say to me in this situation all the time is, they're not going to change. The question is, or the situation's not going to change. The question is, can you deal with it? So, and they're not going to change. So over and over and over again, clearly you are dealing with it. So it comes to a point to where there ain't shit you can do.
So
Every
here's the
restaurant
thing.
has that shit.
If he stops, right, will it get worse?
Or
100%.
it'll get worse?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Do you
That's what-
think your job would be in jeopardy because now all of a sudden you're slacking on the level
No,
that
he's
they
not.
know you're capable of?
he wouldn't be slacking?
Times are changing, bro.
He'll be slacking on getting on people. That's basically what will happen, right?
Work ethic is decreasing, like, at a monumental rate
Sure.
for
Even
generation
at my
wise.
job,
So
bro.
fuck that.
Yeah.
I know I ain't shit at my job and anyone could be replaced at any place, but I think if I stop being an asshole, it's not going to help anybody.
Sure.
It's a necessity sometimes.
It is. I like being an asshole when I have to be, but I mean, you really got to get me to that point. But
Nah, work-wise,
I'll be an asshole.
you're a chill. I mean,
I'm chill.
Unless it's something that like directly affects you, you did your job and that's it. Like,
yeah, I kept out of trouble.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, man, you just gotta butt heads. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I mean, in my case, if they suck and you're working hard and it's a situation where, they had all stepped to you or whatever and you just put them in their place because, I handle my shit and you don't, then you're not an asshole. But if it's like everyone's cool, everyone's chill
Nah,
and
this
all of a
Miami.
sudden, what's that?
This is Miami.
It is Miami,
one
dude.
no one gonna come up to you. They gonna be a bitch and talk behind your back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying?
It's different
It's all
down here.
good.
When I first got back down here this time, I remember, like people were supposed to come over to my place to fix some shit and other stuff. And everybody was always late as fuck. I was like, yep, that's right. We're in Miami. That's the way it is.
Guilty.
Guilty. All right. So anyone else? Asshole? Anyone else? Beef? Nothing?
Laz.
Laz.
What? Me?
Lucas said Laz.
I'm not
Nothing.
an asshole, bro. I'm a
Nothing?
very nice person.
No beef.
What about your
Laz's
corner
Corner.
positivity?
No positivity.
I even
Seth.
sent you something, bro.
No, bro.
There's like two people in Italy that lived like on the balconies across from each other, stuck at home
That's
in
too
COVID,
much.
got fucking engaged. I even sent it to you.
That's not even me, bro. I can't put that out. That's not
That's
me.
fair. That's fair. Well, it did happen, so
I read it.
Yeah,
Like,
I read it. What a fucking dork. All right, so we got a couple of updates and we'll get the fuck out of here. So Al Jazeera, Fauci calls White House event a coronavirus super spreader. So we're only talking about this because we went into Trump and not everybody, a lot of people getting the fucking virus. United States top infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci has said that an event held in White House on December 26th was a super spreader event that is suspected to have infected numerous people, including President Donald Trump, and with the novel coronavirus. I think the data speaks for themselves. We had a super spreader event in White House, Fauci said during an interview with CBS Radio News. And it was in a situation where people were crowded together, were not wearing masks, and so the data speak for themselves. About 30 people contracted the virus following the White House event, including Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Senior Advisor Hope Hicks. We talked about who got who got it. And then attached to that, New York Times, the support staff in the White House mansion are starting to test positive for COVID-19 after the president, First Lady, and the staff in the West Wing has spread the virus around the building. And Maggie Haberman explained that New York Times, Maggie Haberman explained that two housekeepers have tested positive. They reportedly didn't come into contact with the president and his family, which is concerning because it means the virus had spread through the building. When their test came back positive, they were told to use discretion in discussing it. So in other words, don't tell anybody. Fuck that shit. And then last one. So this is
before you continue.
What's that?
like, I know somebody that lives in Atlanta and she just got it.
Oh, really?
The thing is, I know everything's starting to open back up and be kind of normal. Guys, everybody just needs to protect themselves still and
100%.
be safe.
I've gotten lazy.
Yeah, I get it, but besides work and here, I barely go that much places.
Sure.
So
Grocery store, that's really
yeah,
it.
I mean, you have to go to the grocery store. I have no choice.
But
I
here's
mean,
the thing, like the park with our little kid, like we take her there and there's just fucking kids and parents and the fountain is going and all this shit, dude.
we gotta don't feel comfortable yet because places are already shutting down.
Just wait till winter comes.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Winter's coming. Dun, dun, dun.
Like it's not funny, but it's crazy. We gotta still protect ourselves. Don't
It's
be
true.
an idiot.
Every cough is going to be considered COVID.
It's funny too because like when we first got here, like every time we wash our hands and mask off and this and that. And now I come home, I realize I get home from Publix, we got one of those roasted chickens. I just go in there with my hands and start grubbing and shit. Didn't even think about washing my hands. You know, it's getting, you know. And thing is, if you guys look at the infection rate, it's going up across the world, across the country. So that second wave is starting to hit us like right now.
How about the death rate? Is that going up?
Good
doubt it.
question.
I haven't
I think
heard.
it's 0.
Do.
That's what I think.
You
So,
think it's 0?
Yeah, I think it's going down, bro.
If I found out you was out like partying, I was gonna the show's canceled. So I'm not
Right?
like honestly. I gotta be like, even when I first came, I remember when we first came, like, how do you feel about everything and your kids here and da da da, and you were like, you know, as long as you're being safe, which
Yep.
you never know what people are doing. You know
Well,
what I mean?
you can be safe as you want. Doesn't mean that the person they were with is safe. So
Exactly. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
What were you saying,
So,
Lucas?
How do you feel about me going out and party and doing the podcast with me?
hey, you're fine. You can do whatever you want, bro. I would. Hopefully, you don't
So
get sick.
deaths aren't so USA. Sorry, Lucas. I know I'm jumping all over your shit, but I just always have it in front of me. USA 325 yesterday. India 813 deaths. Brazil 270. So I mean, the deaths aren't nearly as bad as they were.
270 what? Thou?
No, just 270 people.
Oh.
So it's the
And
deaths.
with the misreporting of everyone.
But remember before they were
Well,
just
Russia wasn't reporting the people that actually died from it. They were, and you know, my wife is from Russia and her family, and like, you know, they were, you know, even though they caught pneumonia because they had COVID and they died, they would say they died of pneumonia, not COVID. So it's not super accurate.
And
we
they
know
do the
China's
complete
completely
opposite
full.
here.
people were
What's
getting
that?
sick and they were
They do the
saying
complete opposite here.
Oh,
Yeah,
complete opposite here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have it and you died of COVID.
But
here.
if you had something else and they didn't know what you had, they would say you died from COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the U.S., they're saying whenever you die, it's COVID.
Yeah,
no
basically.
matter what it is.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
they were doing
Yeah,
that. They were like
You're getting
falsifying
you're,
deaths.
you're getting 12K or 38K for each death. COVID's getting 38K.
Holy shit.
So
really?
incentive. Now, if you're in the medical field and you're dealing with this 24/7, this is a come up.
a lot of money.
This
And
is
you can't-
capitalism, baby.
Remember, they couldn't do what they do to the bodies regularly because of the COVID also.
Sure.
So it's like the
It's a
person
lot more
dies like,
yeah.
No checks or balances. It's a wrap.
Damn. I know
What do you-
here, Elena's friends, I mean, I mentioned this on the show before, but they had to get tested for work. And after waiting 2 or 3 hours, they're like, fuck it, and left. And they got a positive result anyway, even though they never actually took the fucking test.
Yep. I heard
How'd they get a
countless.
positive without taking a test?
Exactly.
Wow. What
Exactly.
the fuck, bro?
This is I know people too, man. This ain't the first time. Like, that's why this shit's like smoke and mirrors, bro.
No doubt. What was that, Lucas?
I was going to say, you didn't hear about the guy that got shot in the head, but apparently he just died from COVID.
No.
No, there's not only one case. Like, there's a whole bunch of things
I
like
didn't know that shit.
There's
Damn.
they-
Fucked up.
Yeah, it was a joke.
oh,
He got shot in the
idiot,
head.
dude.
He
no,
got
but
shot
there
in
was
the
something else like that though. For real, that's not even. No, he was fucking around, but this shit like that for real.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe
For
it.
sure.
I believe, especially if you can make an extra, what is it, 20 grand or so from that? All right, last one, KHOU. This is from Houston. So SFA, we talked about it. Stephen F. Austin University, the college swatting. So SFA asked family for permission to release police body cam footage in alleged swatting incident. So the college wants to release the footage and they want the family to allow that to happen because they're saying that a lot of stuff is being blown out of proportion as you know, in reference to the police response.
The girl we
Administrators-
talked about.
Yeah, the girl we talked about, 100%. Administrators suggest the interaction between campus police and student Kristen Evans has been exaggerated by rumors. Stephen F. Austin University administrators are seeking permission to release body cam video from the alleged swatting incident late last month in one of its dorms. They believe the footage will dispel rumors. Several campus officers came into Kristen Evans' room unannounced and with guns drawn. Recently, the school also had disproved claims the incident was racially motivated. Officials said SFA police knocked several times before a roommate let them in. He also clarified that only one officer took his weapon out of the holster, which is actually what we reported. But they needed approval from Evans' family to share the body cam video with the public. University is not at war with the student and her family, Harris said. We want Kristen to feel welcome and safe here at SFA. Safe, really, and welcome. It's our desire to work with her family so they feel much more comfortable having her here. The school expects the investigation to be completed this week. For now, multiple criminal charges against several students linked to the incident have been submitted to the county district attorney's office for consideration, according to administrators. So, still haven't. Fuck. Dude, like literally like 5 minutes from the end of the fucking show. All right, so they haven't filed any charges yet. Looks like they submitted consideration, whatever. And looks like they're still doing the investigation, whatever. It's been almost a month now. Let's fucking get it together. And that's pretty much all I got. So we need 100 subscribers on YouTube. Please subscribe. Review us on iTunes. If you want your music on the show, all the music on the show is The Unsilenced, which is my production entity. And review us, follow us, like us, all that shit. So, any last minute thoughts? Anyone? No?
Negative.
All right. Seth and Mike 1. Laz back there in Mike 2. Lucas and Mike 3.
Hey,
We got one hey. The second or the first one didn't come through. We got Alex in Mike 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming out, rocking it with us. That's right, because we said so. Boom. And we'll see you guys next week.
Because we said so.
Because we said so.
Oh.